Hello, my name is Bob Brown and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is on the Standing Rock Lakota Sioux People and the situation with the Dakota Access Pipeline. And this is a part 2 of a video I did on the post-fact world, poetry and perception. And I'd like to read the classic poem of the mystical poet of the Renaissance, John Donne, who's an English poet. And this is a very famous poem, you'll know it, but it's something to contemplate. And you may say, well, what does poetry have to do with business? It has a lot, because poetry speaks to the deeper inner recesses of the mind. And we have to, and in business and any situation where there's a potential of conflict, we must understand that the conflict is against one of our own kind, that is human being. So I'm reading from the edition edited by Charles M. Coffin with an introduction by Dennis Donahue, the collected poetry and selected prose of John Donne. And I hope this sheds some insight for what the Lakota people, the Standing Rock Sioux, the millennials are trying to accomplish at Standing Rock. And this is a message to both sides, but I think we need to listen to what the Standing Rock Sioux are trying to tell us. I did a video on the Tibetans and Tibetan Buddhism. The Tibetans are an indigenous people who are under great threat from environmental challenges brought on by the Chinese government. The Chinese government has systematically tried to eradicate Tibet, eradicate the Tibetan people, and again, this isn't against Chinese people, this is against the Chinese socialist Marxist government that has tried to end Tibet. And with the melting of the Himalayas or the Himalayas, Tibet is under extreme environmental threat as long as cultural threat. And this is a direct corollary to what's happened to the Standing Rock Sioux. So I'm trying to use poetry to reach the ethical center of every human being. And every human being does have an ethical center. And so from page 446 of John Donne, edited by Charles Coffin, and quote, "Who bends not his ear to any bell, which upon any occasion rings, but who can remove it from that bell, which is passing a piece of himself out of this world? No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a piece of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manner of thy friends or thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind. And therefore, never descend to know, for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." So let me reread that section, the most famous section of John Donne. "Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind. And therefore never send to know, for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." So in the Standing Rock Sioux, they're, as a people, I think, in their mind, they're standing on the edge of eternity. They're coming back from the long winter, and they're growing as a culture. And at this precise moment in history, their sovereign rights, in their mind, are being taken away from them. And because of that, they feel threatened, just as much as the Tibetan people are being threatened. So we see this corollary worldwide of indigenous people who happen to be at areas of importance that are suddenly having no say in their future. That's wrong. From a business point of view, it's wrong. You can't tell your customers, and these are customers, because at the end of the day, the Dakota Access Pipeline is a business. It's a business to move oil from the Dakotas down to Illinois to be processed, to be sold to customers. If along the way you anger everybody, including your end customers who will buy gasoline, or say, well, I'm going to protest, and any gasoline that comes out of the refinery in Illinois, I don't want any part of, then the distributors are going to have a hard time. So this has to be rectified. Donne's poem shows us that all of us are always standing on the edge of eternity. Every one of us stands on the edge of eternity every day. So I think I would ask people to listen to the Standing Rock Sioux, listen to what they're trying to tell you, reroute the pipeline. I've made a video on how you can put safety interlocks into this system to make it safer. It won't be that much more money. How you can put monitoring stations in to allow the Dakota Sioux international monitoring agencies and the U.S. government monitor to ensure the safety of the pipeline. That during the process of building this pipeline, that since the machinery is there, they should put up cell towers, they should put up solar towers, they should put up wind turbines to make jobs for this area, to help make it a clean energy production system, and that this helps the transition towards clean energy. It's a win-win. I'm really amazed that people haven't thought this up, because, you know, I'm really not that smart of a person, and I thought it up. So once again, the poetry of John Donne is something that I recommend for business people to read, to understand, especially when you're dealing with difficult situations in business and life. Listen to the Standing Rock Sioux. They have a message. The message is coming at us from eternity. Because if you look at what happened to Tibet, and I know many Tibetans, I was taught by Tibetans, I've learned the Tibetan language, I've learned the Tibetan religion. If you see what's happened to them, the destruction of their way of life, you will start to understand where the Dakota Sioux, the Standing Rock Sioux are coming from. They're under threat, and they know they're under threat, and no one's addressing their issues. And these are young people who are saying, we want a different future for ourselves. And in my opinion, they have that right to have a different future for themselves. They have the right for self-determination. If we don't give the millennials and the centennials the right to self-determination, there won't be much of a future for any of us. This has been Bob Brown, and thank you for watching my video. Have a good day.